Okay. Okay, it has started. So, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest members. Welcome to the 55th session of Redis Soundbites Club. So, yeah, today we have two guests in our meeting. So, first guest is Toastmaster Nikhil. He's from Western Digital Podium Panache Toastmaster Group, and he's area director of Area G2. And he's taking up a general evaluator role today. And then we have another guest member, Toastmaster Anu. She is delivering her L2P2 speech today in our club, and she is from ANZ Bangalore EcoWorld Toastmaster Club. So welcome Anu and Nikhil. Welcome to the club. Yeah. So I would like to start with a small story. So once upon a time, in a jungle, there were two friends. One was a monkey and one was elephant. So the monkey was very quick and fast, and the elephant was very strong and tall. They both were having like good qualities, and they were very good friends. But once, due to some of their like conversation, they got an argument like what is superior, whether it is strength or the flexibility. So they talked a lot, but they didn't like got any conclusion on that. So they decided, okay, we'll check one of our some old and wise creature. That was a old wise owl. So they went to the owl and they asked this query. So owl was very wise and he said, I know the answer, but I will not tell you now. I will tell you only if you will bring a golden fruit for me. And that is a far distance place in the jungle. Since I'm old, I cannot travel that much. So if you help me with that, I will help you with your query. So what happened? They decided, okay, anyway, we want the answer of this thing. We will go. When they started their journey, till the midway, it was fine. But at the mid of their journey, they found a river. So monkey was very quick. He went there and he checked the depth of the river, and it was very deep. He talked with the elephant, and elephant said, "Okay, you do one thing. You sit on my back, and we both can walk over this river." They did that. Then finally, they reached to the tree. Now elephant was like very strong and tall, so he thought, "Okay, I will try to fell this tree." So he did his effort, but tree was very strong, and he was unable to do that. They discuss again. Monkey said, "Okay, like I will climb to your back and then I can jump to the tree and I can pluck the fruit." He did that and finally they had the fruit. They came back to the owl and they said, okay, uh, Mr. Owl, we have your fruit now. Please tell the answer of our query. So owl said, okay, who brought the fruit? Monkey said, I brought because I plucked it from there. But elephant said, he might have plucked it from there, but without me, he was not unable to cross the river. Then owl said, okay, you stop now. As you can see, you both are having your own personalities, your own strengths. But when some challenges comes, if you are working collectively, you can enhance your skills and you can achieve anything which is not possible. So basically, this is a very basic learning which we might have learned in our childhood days. This is on the teamwork, what we have to do. And our today's session is also all about that. Uh, so our today's session, its theme is uh, Toastmasters of the Day. So you might have found like this is the Toastmaster of the day. So you might have found in our today's agenda, there is no dedicated TMOD. So we have taken a different approach here. And in this approach, all the role players and every member will get a chance to be part of the TMOD for today. And with collective efforts, we can make it in a better way. So with this approach, we will go forward and we'll start our meeting. Before starting the meeting, I would like to put some ground rules here. So rule one is like, please make your devices like mobile and any noise making device in the silent mode. Second is please do not leave the meeting in between, but if you have to leave it due to some reason, please leave it at the time of applause. And for the speakers, like please refrain from making any remark on sex, religion, and politics. So with this, I would like to call the next speaker. She is very dynamic, motivating, and multitasker. I have heard like she might be like discussing like technicalities of a project over call, and simultaneously she might be cooking food for family too. And she is kind of very good problem solver, and she will solve any kind of problem with her calm nature. So I would like to welcome our president, Chitra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. Thanks for that introduction and the story. When I asked you if you can be the TMOD, you said you need preparation. I think you could have played that role very easily today. Anyways, having said that, so I would like to welcome all of you. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, to the 55th session of Sound Bites Club. Somebody said, I'll tell you later who did, according to most studies, people's number one fear is public speaking. Number two is death. Death is number two. Does that sound right? This means to an average person, if he goes to a funeral, he's better off in the casket than delivering the eulogy. It's not my joke, it was Jerry Seinfeld. I think in our small way to combat this great mortal fear of public speaking, we meet every second and third Thursdays. As a club and individual club members, we are not only constantly endeavoring to work on our speaking and listening skills. I think it is incumbent on each one of us to reach out and help fellow club members to join the meetings and then to help them overcome their fear and improve their communication skills. For if some of the great presidents of America, for example, Gerald Ford, said, if I went back to college again, I'd concentrate on two things: learning to write and to speak before an audience. Nothing in life is more important than the ability to communicate effectively. You would have seen my speech is full of quotation. And there's a quotation for that also, because quotation is supposed to be a serviceable substitute for wit. It was Oscar Wilde. I'm not witty, so I use the substitute. Okay. So now, speaking of communicating effectively, we have with us today Toastmaster Anu from ANZ. Please welcome her. She is doing her project on understanding your communication skill. We also have the area G4 director, Toastmaster Nikhil. Please welcome to the club meeting. I had prepared a line saying I would like to welcome all the other guests as well. Then I saw there was no other guest. Then I saw Libin's photo and I couldn't recognize him, and I thought he was a guest. Hi, Libin. And hi, Madhuri. We've never seen you in the club meetings. Welcome. So today's format, like Toastmaster Gaurav explained, would be slightly different from the usual meetings where there's no TMOD and each role player calls upon the next one. Right. So, but Madhuri, please get in touch with Adarsh, and Adarsh get in touch with Madhuri for coming on to the meetings regularly from now onwards.
Yeah,
now,
hi, I'm Madhuri from ANZ Club.
Oh, is it okay? You can still come on to our meetings regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hi. So now I'll not hold you up further. So to carry the baton further, I'd like to call upon someone who pinged me earlier this week and asked about the session. And I told him that it might be cancelled because there are no role players. And he immediately volunteered to play any role that is required. Nikhil is a system designer who joined Western Digital in 2017 after his college. And he is the area director and the president of his club. He is a passionate speaker and has joined Toastmaster to work on his public speaking skills. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nikhil. He is the general evaluator for the day.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Chitra, for such kind words. And I definitely agree, first thing, with our essay, that you definitely found a solution that even if you didn't have TMOD, you changed the format of the meeting and now everyone is a TMOD. That's the fantastic thing. Second thing, I have a very big motive of attending these meetings. That is to take notes on giving a presidential address. Thanks a lot. I have made a lot of notes last time also, this time also. I'm going to use as it is. So thank you in advance for that. Now moving to my role for the day. So I'll be journal evaluator. I'll be evaluating the meeting right from the start when the essay started till the end, wherever we finish it off. To help me with my role, we have a tag team. First off is timer. This timer, a person who is finding difficulty in managing time between office and personal work, here comes after a break time into the Toastmasters session to be our timer of the day. Balaji Shankaran, this time timer, Balaji Shankaran.
Thank you, Nikhil. So I will jump into my role. What is that? I will mention that. Before that, our President Chitra was giving a short quotation telling that the first fear is public speaking, second fear is the death. Maybe in that list, I will add my third fear as the time management. So given that, I will go into my role. So today as a timer, I will be monitoring the time during the prepared speeches, the table topic, as well as the evaluation. At the end of the meeting, I will report the time taken by each participant, whether it's over, under, or the exact one. And the time wise for the prepared speeches, it's 5 to 7 minutes. At the 5th minute, I will show the green light in the app. At the 6th minute, I will show the yellow light. At the 7th minute, I will show the red light. Same for evaluators, it's a 2 to 3 minutes. At the time of 2, it will be a green light. At the time of 2:30, it will be a yellow light. At the time of the 3, it will be the red light. For the table topic, it's a 1 to 2 minute. At the 1th minute, it will be a green light. At the 1.5, it will be the yellow light. At the 2nd minute, it will be the red light. I will give the report in the end to everybody. Thank you, Nikhil. Over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Balaji. Moving on, next is our ARC counter for the day, Toastmaster Garvit. He's graduated from VIT, born in Delhi and brought up in Bangalore. His main hobbies are watching TV series, movies. I'm there with you, my friend, and watching and playing sports. I do watch, but not so much play. So over to you, Garvit, to explain your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. My role as the hour counter is to note and keep track of words and sounds used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. The use of inappropriate injections such as and, well, but, so, like, you know, as well as sounds like will be met with an audible click. I will note any use of crutch or filler words mentioned, and I will be reporting back to you at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Garvit. Thanks a lot. Then next up is our grammarian, Toastmaster Adarsh. He is the team prankster and a class clown. He has been called Prabhas look-alike and is the Bahubali of the team. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Nikhil. Good afternoon, everyone. So my role as a grammarian is to keep track of the good usage of English language and also point out if any corrections or improvements that can be made. Besides this, my role is also to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is levity. So levity means to treat something that is of a serious matter with humor, or you can also say somebody who's humorous even in when the situation is serious. So you can of course use it in both ways. It could be good or bad. Some examples are below. So nobody appreciated his levity at the funeral. So another example would be, he wished his teachers taught the lesson with some levity to make it more interesting. Who better to talk about levity than George Bernard Shaw? So this is his quote. He said, "My method is to take the utmost trouble to find the right thing to say, and then say it with the utmost levity." So I will be keeping track of the usage of this word, and I'll be getting back to you guys with my report at the end of the session. Thank you, and back to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you for introducing the word of the day and your role. Now, here comes the important part. That is the evaluators for today's speeches. First evaluator for today's speech is Toastmaster Bhargavi. She is the most graceful person in Redises and likes the potatoes a lot. I don't know if it's an inside joke or potatoes actually mean the potatoes, the food. She'll be evaluating Sunindra speech L1 project 2 speech first. Over to you, Bhargavi, to read the objective of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Yes, I do like potatoes a lot. Okay. Um, Sudhindra will be giving his L1 P2 S1 speech. So the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. So the member may choose to have the speech, which could be humorous, informational, or any style that he would choose. Um, all the best to Sudhindra and Anu for their speeches. I'll get back with my report when called upon. Thanks.
Thank you, Bhargavi. Thanks a lot. Next up, for our second speaker, Toastmaster Anu, we have evaluator Toastmaster Sairam. He's called the Amitabh Bachchan of Redises. Almost everyone recommends him if they have to record a demo video. Whenever he wants to visit a new place, he spends a lot of time reading about it. Over to you, Toastmaster Sairam, to read the objective of the speaker.
Hey, Sairam is not here, so he'll be joining a couple of minutes late.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so maybe we can read out his objectives before the speech.
Sure. Okay, so without further ado, I'll do my part of Toastmaster of the day and call upon our first speaker, Toastmaster Sunindra. She is attempting level 1 project 2 first speech. She is she's jovial in nature, a foodie and a tea lover. So Toastmaster Sunindra, random forest, Toastmaster Sunindra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, guests, and friends. No, today I am attempting Level 1 Project 2 Speech 1. When I read about what L1 P2 is all about, it reminded me of this ad, TV ad. Let me type it for you. It's late in the night, a huge indoor stadium. There are only 2 people inside it. A mother seated on a spectator seat and her 10-year-old practicing gymnastics. This kid runs hard, jumps on the springboard, takes a flip on the somersault vault, and before he completes his flip, he falls. He tries again and again and again, and after a couple of times, he manages to jump a notch higher. This time, he completes his somersault, but fails to make a landing. Tries again, fails. And after some time, tired, he starts a conversation with that somersault vault. You think I should go home and sleep now, right? But know what mom says? Mom says, do all your mistakes during the practice. I'm going to practice all night. Do you want to go somewhere? Bonvita, tayari jeet ki. The one thing that touched me the most is this whole idea of learning from mistakes. When I talk about learning from mistakes, there are 2 schools of thoughts. One is Albert Einstein. He says, one who has never done a mistake in his life has never tried anything new. That means he's daring people to make mistakes, own them, and learn from them. And the other school of thought is from a well-known Chanakya, known for his levity. He says, learn from others' mistakes. You have a very short lifespan and you don't get to do all those mistakes yourself. Who do you think is right? Well, both. It is kind of interlinked. To explain, Let me take this example of random forest. Random forest is a famous machine learning algorithm. They classify it as a supervised learning algorithm, wherein this algorithm is fed with some initial inputs, they call it as learning vectors, and a desired outcome. This algorithm considers all the inputs and tries to predict the output. The delta between the actual and the expected is fed back as an input to its training vector. Something similar, right? So if you apply this back to what we do here at Toastmasters, it is very much similar. I think most of you would agree. A Toastmaster, every Toastmaster starts with a journey with a set of initial input vectors. Input vectors in the form of learnings from others' mistakes. People who have done mistake in the past, previous generation, have put together a set of profound rules that one can follow. You apply these, prepare your speech, deliver. When you do that mistake, when you take that feedback, so that is your delta. That your feedback and the learning process should continue till you reach the desired outcome. So when it comes to public speaking, what do we have as input vectors? As I said, profound rules. Some rules on speech structure. They say a speech should have a captivating beginning, a meaningful middle, and an impactful end. They say a speaker will have only 30 seconds to capture the audience attention. If lost, it will be even more difficult. It gets more difficult and difficult as the time progresses. So you have 30 seconds. You have gapped your audience attention. And now it becomes even more difficult, even more important to hold on to it and give a valuable, informative content so that everyone can connect and feels engaged. And then when it's time to let go, you should make sure that everyone goes back with 1 or 2 takeaways. Isn't it? What else? What else do I have as my input vectors? There are rules on body language. They say, give a powerful pose when you're talking. When you give a power poses, you feel powerful, you feel confident. A message delivered confidently will definitely convince your audience. What else? They say hand gestures. They say use gestures to enact your verbs that you're talking, convey your emotions that you want to say. And then what? What other inputs we have? They have rules on eye contact. It says make sure that you connect, you establish an eye contact with every one of your audience, everyone who has given time to listen to you, to make them feel valued. Show your respect towards them by making sure that you do at least an eye contact, at least for a second or 2. Fine. What else? There is another rule which says about voice modulation. It says use a pitch of your voice to convey different emotions. When you want to say something more dramatic, say it dramatically. When you want to say convincingly, be sure that you are convinced and talk with a conviction that yes, you believe it. What else do I have as my input vectors? Well, there are 19. I read. I feed all of these input vectors to my random forest. Now what? Now I deliver my speech. Where do I find this delta? That's in the feedback that each and every one of you are going to give me today. In Toastmasters sessions, sometimes you get to play a role of a vault who gives a non-judgmental feedback, a mother who supports and nurtures the kid, and sometimes that kid himself to take that effort to practice, to make conscious mistakes and learn from them. Today, I did my part to play the role of a kid. Will you be my vault? Thank you. Well, that was about my speech. It's TMOD Sudhindra now. Today we have a speaker from ANZ Bangalore Eco World Toastmasters Club. She's attempting her level 2 speech too. She's a highly positive and energetic person. You find her curious. Okay, please put your hands together in welcoming Toastmaster Anu. Toastmaster Anu, we are different, predictably different. We are different, predictably different, Anu. Thank you.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Did you look at the screen? What kind of emotions did I display just now? Anyone?
Evil laughter.
Okay. I also displayed fear, crying as well. When we talk about communication, we always think about verbal communication. But did you know that the verbal communication forms only 7% of the communication we do, and 93% is the non-verbal communication? Research says that we use around 7,000 words a day in order to communicate. Communication is a two-way street, which means that I, as a sender, am trying to convey my idea, and you, as a receiver, receives or perceives the information. So we need to effectively communicate. But do we all agree that we are all different? I can see some nods there. Yes. But do you also agree that we are all predictably different? Yes. No. Yes. What do I mean by predictably different? When given a situation, will we be able to say how a person reacts? Actually, yes. But a whole lot of population on this earth can be divided into 4 different types. They are the DISC styles or the DISC types. D is a dominant style. They are action-oriented and result-oriented. Whereas I is the influencing style. They are action-oriented, but also they are people-oriented. And then comes the S. S wants to maintain the status quo, but they are people-oriented as well. And the last style is the C style or the consciousness style, which is who would want to have stability and they want to actually get the task done. Are you asking me how to recognize these styles? It's actually very, very simple. Let me take the example of the lift because all of us have used it. You're in the lift and suddenly this person walks in. He presses the button. He looks at the LED screen. He wants to know where he is at this point in time. He's always in a hurry, restless. For sure, he belongs to the D style. And then here comes a cute lady who is always smiling. Comes in, asks you how you are. She wants to build the rapport. And she, for sure, belongs to the I style. And then suddenly this person is walking in. He's not allowing the doors to close. It is just not he who wants to get inside the lift, but he's waiting for his friends to join him as well. He belongs to the S style. And finally, this person who is standing in that corner observing everyone. She's looking at the placard which says 1580 kgs only. And she's looking at all of you to figure out how much you weigh. Could the lift take it or not? I can see some smiling faces there. Yes, we are all different, but predictably different. We generally use different styles because our work environment or home environment needs us to behave in such a way, communicate in such a way to have effective outcomes. But it's always the dominant style which will come in first, and then you consciously flex around other styles to get the desired outcome. These are coronavirus days. Like you, I'm also in the home for 5 months now, which also means that there's a lot of communication happening inside the house. My daughter, whom I call as a drama queen, is a typical I. So with her, I try to listen to her stories, try to explain her, try to give her a positive note telling that these coronavirus days will get over and there'll be a lot of innovations which will happen because of this virus. And then my husband, who is an S style, always comes to me and asks me, Anu, do you think you need my help? We can together finish it off quickly and then both of us can get back to work. And then my father-in-law, who is a D in capitals, he wants everything to be done as per his wish at the time he specifies. I generally get up in the morning, asks him, what do you want for lunch and dinner today? What time are you going to have lunch and dinner? So that way I can plan my day. And finally, my nephew, who typically gets back to me only towards the end of the day with a report telling that, Aunt, do you know that you have spent this much time in these many activities and you could have productively utilized it? Oh God, we are all different. Just to summarize, communication is very, very important. And if you use the right communication, you can build rapport, you can build teams, you can increase the productivity, you can reduce the conflicts for sure. Next time, when you are having a communication with other person, remember we are all different, but predictably different. Thank you so much. Okay, let me call upon TTM Spurti Dayanand, a TM whose favorite part is table topics, but playing the role of a TTM for the first time. TTM Spurti Dayanand.
Thanks, Anu. Good afternoon, everyone. So, in today's table topic segment, we'll be going back to proverbs. So, there are very simple proverbs that we've all learned in school. However, there's a slight twist to it. We will show some levity. With some levity, we'll also try and disagree with these proverbs. So, let me share my screen. So once you're given a number, once you choose your number and your proverb is displayed on the screen, you will see an agree button initially, and you will be speaking for the proverb. In some time, randomly any time, I would change that to disagree, and you will switch your speech and speak against what lesson you have learned from the proverb. So let's start. I'm hoping somebody would volunteer. Okay, I'm gonna pick now. And I think I'm going to start with Garvit.
Okay, I'll take number 3.
Yeah, all that glitters is not gold.
All that glitters is not gold. And a very prominent proverb in today's world, we can clearly see that everything that we see which is shiny, which is might not have a particular value to it. For instance, we can see that we get so many fake products. I mean, not to specify, but made in China, which could probably have gold plating, which is not actually gold, and it is clearly fake. And all that, someone who might seem very flamboyant to you, who might seem very flashy, might not actually be that kind of a person in real life. They might actually be a very dull kind of a person. And uh, now, coming back to trying to contradict the same proverb, um, I mean, if there is a glitter, then there has to be gold. If you see something shining, then I presume that there has to be some reason to that shine. For instance, if you see a person who is very happy and has the spark, then you probably know that the person is very good at interacting, likes to talk to people, and clearly shows that there is a gold in the person, which is being reflected by the glitter. I think, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Garvit. That was great. For and against gold. You clearly are not fond of gold. So can we, is there anybody going to volunteer next, or do you want me to continue picking? Okay, so I think my next pick is our President Chitra.
Okay, number 4.
Curiosity kills the cat.
I think it is easier for me to disagree with this one. Okay, I was watching this movie, the detective show, the other day, in which the heroine goes to. Uh, so this is like a period drama where the detective goes to a site to investigate a German spy during World War II, and she's obviously not equipped enough to carry out this investigation, and then she gets captured by the Germans, and then the hero has to come and rescue her, right? But what if the hero did not come? She would have been killed by the German, right? So it's sometimes not okay to be curious and go forward and do whatever you feel like to satisfy that curiosity. Sometimes it is okay to think back and sit back and think about the pros and cons and think that it is okay, right? Okay, I forgot. Curiosity kills the cat. Killed the cat. Okay. Yeah, but if people were not curious, right, and were not adventurous, do you think we would have all these great discoveries all over the world? Do you think Columbus would have discovered America and not be interested in it? Do you think Vasco da Gama would have come all the way to India? No. Great things in the world are done by curious people. Without curiosity and that sense of adventure, I don't think people would be able to achieve anything. Thanks.
Thanks, Chitra. That was a very good talk on why we should be curious and it wouldn't get us killed. Come on, I'm hoping somebody would volunteer at least now. See, I've given very simple proverbs.
I would like to go next.
Sure. What's the number?
3 and 4 are completed, right?
Right.
1.
Honesty is the best policy.
Okay. Yeah, so I feel honesty is the best policy. Uh, is the best policy because if we are following things with the honesty, then we need not to hide many things and we need not to manipulate things. And whenever we are keeping something hidden in our heart, then it is very difficult. Like today, tomorrow, or somewhere in time, we will feel like it is very difficult to hold that feeling or hold that secret or hold that dishonesty thing which we have done. So if we are not doing that, we are pure from our heart, it will be like we can live our life without any hesitation and without any doubt or without any fear of anything. And yeah, so if we are going with the honesty, then we will not like find ourselves in a situation where we have to make an argument to anyone, or we know like we are following a good thing and it will be good for us, good for others also. So I feel honesty is the best policy. But sometime if you are going too honest, then it may harm you also. So in like there might be a scenario like you are following everything, and due to your due diligence, people might come to you, and like you will find yourself overburdened, or you will feel like, okay, okay, everything is coming to you because everyone knows like you will do it with honesty. You will not like say anything wrong, or you will not say anything falsely. So people will come to you and it will become sometimes a burden to you. So I feel in those kind of scenario, honesty is not the best policy. And for these kind of things, like we have to deal things with the care. Like we should go in a proper approach, like when we should be honest and when we should not be honest. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Thanks, Gaurav. That was a neat presentation on honesty. Whom do we have next? Any of our guests, would you like to give it a try?
I'll try.
Sorry, who is that?
Nikhil.
Oh, sure, Nikhil. Do let me know your number. 1, 3, and 4 are taken.
5.
So 2 wrongs don't make a right.
A very good afternoon to one and all. Today I stand here, or in fact I sit here in front of you to talk about very important thing. And like everything in the world, there are some pros and some cons. So I'll start with what are the pros. The thing that I'm going to talk is right written in the front of you. 2 wrongs don't make a right. This is similar to the idea that whether final destination is important or the path is important. In the path, if we are making the wrong decisions and ultimately we are achieving the final conclusion wherever we wanted to reach, will it still be right? The pro part of it is absolutely not. If you make 2 wrongs, they will not make right, because you might be doing wrong to someone personally, someone individually on your path to achieve the final success. If those wrongs are going to harm anyone, then they will never make it right. If those wrongs are not harming anyone, if those 2 wrongs are just like 2 negative signs which you accidentally use in your math problem, ultimately you might get a positive result. As long as the 2 wrongs are not harming any individual and not harming anyone personally, and are accident and the results of some accident, I think they can sometimes make up the right result. And that is what we have seen the logical problems all across in our math solutions so many times. So that's all I had to share with you. 1 point each for how 2 wrongs don't make a right and how 2 wrongs can make it a right. Thank you. Back to you, Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Do we proceed with more, or should we be winding up?
think we have time. Right?
We have time.
Libin, would you like to give that a try? You'll have to pick between 2 and 6. You're on mute.
Two.
Speak is silver, silence is gold.
Good afternoon, everyone. The one of the main reasons I joined today was that the wizard of table topics is doing the table topics itself. So I was very interested in understanding and seeing the topics. There's a problem with all the proverbs that it has a verbal meaning, a literal meaning, and a meaning which only the speaker understands. So our table topics master never said that we should never talk about literal meaning. So I'm going to agree with the literal meaning that speech is silver and the silence is the gold. And someone told a few minutes back that all that glitters is not gold. So definitely silence is going to glitter. And I totally agree with that. The speech is only silver. Why? Because speech has a silver lining where the moment you start speaking, people starts looking at you thinking, what the hell is this guy telling? He's not making any sense. But that's not my mistake. It's a mistake of the table topics master because she gave a topic which literally means that speech is silver and silence is gold, which I totally agree till the moment she clicks on the screen, because speech is no more silver. I don't think speech is silver. Speech is something which touches our heart and goes beyond it. Whereas silence, like the people who silently put themselves on mute in the screen, is never gold. They should have come up and spoke when the table topics master asked to volunteer. They should have raised their hand like how I didn't do, and then they would have spoken, and speech would have become the gold instead of the silence. So with a very strong disagreement to the topics given to me or thrown at me, I try to wind up my speech with a strong notion that speech is not silver and silence is not gold. Thank you.
Thank you, Libin, and I'm already giving you -1 for all the allegations on the table topics master. And last one, so we just have one more left. Anybody else who would like to volunteer?
Yes, Purti. I wanted to go with 6, but good thing is I won't capture my timing.
I can capture it for you.
Okay.
So your proverb is, an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Toastmasters. So, ideal mind is a devil's workshop. So, what we can say is like one recent example I can give it. So, I don't know how many of you are started investing in the share market. So, I was investing it. Let's give a very small example. So, I was like over the weekend, I bought one thing. The problem in buying something over the Friday night is okay. You have 2 more days to sit ideal and think in your mind. That becomes a devil's workshop. You start seeing a YouTube channels, you start seeing YouTube videos, you see here and there, you read this recommendation, that recommendation. At the end of the day, you will think this is the correct thing to do on the Monday morning, very first thing, that you will sell it for some small profit. And you end up seeing that Tuesday that it went for so high. That is like, hell man, why did I had a 2 weeks or 2 days in between? You will think like that. But on the other hand, when you have overnight thinking and you go to the same example and do your own research, when you have ideal time, you can pick up your stock correct. When you pick up your stock correct, you can invest correctly and you can gain better, you can see a lot of profit. And I can do all these things only when my mind is ideal. If my mind is stuck up with all my office works, how can I even spend my time to do all these researches and spend and become a billionaire in a short time? So the ideal mind is never a devil's workshop. It's a God's workshop. So make use of it whenever you have ideal time. And thank you, Spurti. Back to you.
Thank you, Balaji. I think all time is good time. So idle or busy, we should anyway make use of the gift of time. So with that, I will wind up the table topic section. Thank you everyone, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmasters Shruti. Thanks a lot for an amazing table topic session, and all the speakers for bringing in all different perspectives and different ideas. Now, we'll start the evaluation section, and to start with, we'll invite our first evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Bhargavi, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Sudhindra.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be on camera. Hi, Sudhindra. Congratulations on completing your P2S1. Your speech actually focused on the aspect of learning from mistakes, and you really presented it in different ways and ways where we could connect to it, right? You started with a scene of the boy and the mother, and it kind of created a picture in our minds, right, on what was happening, and all those hand gestures and the drama that you created, it was really captivating. So in your words, it was a captivating start to the speech. It was you had a very vibrant stage presence, right? I really loved when you sipped that cup of Bonvita and wiped your face. That kind of like really added to your speech. And I really like the way you drew that analogy between the machine learning algorithm and the general journey of a speech, right, in Toastmasters. That was kind of really good, because still then I was still wondering what this random forest was all about. So it kind of kept us guessing till then on what you were going to talk about, right? So every aspect that you touched upon on the speech, right? The speech structure, whether it was the structure, the rules of body language, gestures, eye contact, modulation, I think it was all a check on your speech. I think it was kind of, you're trying to just tell us what you're actually giving us there, right? So that was, really nice. Something that I would, and there were quotes, right? You used very good quotes on Chanakya and all of that. It kind of gave us some kind of a takeaway there. And they were, I don't know, I kind of felt at the middle of the speech somewhere that, yeah, energy kind of went down. Your voice kind of, slowed down. I'm not sure. Maybe it was because of such a good start there. Probably that's the reason I felt that way. And also the end, right? The conclusion part, I felt it was somehow abruptly stopped somewhere. I'm not sure if you still had time. Balaji, if you could give the time, please, for Sudhindra.
For Sudhindra, he took 7 minutes 52 seconds. Yeah, 22 seconds over than the buffer.
Okay. Then you didn't have time. Probably that's the reason. But I felt that there was this abrupt stopping. You did give us a takeaway. You asked us a question. You questioned us, and you made us think there. But I somehow felt that probably that part you could work on. And I think overall for your second speech, Sudhindra, I mean, I've seen your first speech, it was awesome. And this one, again, a great speech from you. Looking forward to more captivating, meaningful, and impactful speeches from you going ahead. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhargavi. Thanks a lot for detailed evaluation. So now we'll go to our next evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Sairam for Toastmaster Anu. Toastmaster Sairam, I request you to first read the objective of Toastmaster Anu's speech, since it was missed at the start, and then you can start your evaluation. Timer, please make a note of that after the objective start the time. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sairam.
Thanks. So the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify her primary style. And in addition to that, it also provides the member an opportunity to share the impact of her style on others. So that's what is the purpose of today's speech. So with that said, let me go straight to the evaluation. So Anu, first you did a wonderful job. Okay? I was really happy about it. In fact, the way that you started, it really grabbed eyeballs, I should say. So trying to start off in a very animated fashion, I think it definitely takes everyone by surprise, and everyone is going to pay attention to whatever you're going to say next. So I think in a way that it kind of set the stage right. So full marks to you for a very interesting start. And in addition to that, I think you followed it up by some statistics and those things which probably many of us are not aware about. But I think it very well gelled into the topic for today, and the way that you begin and then later how you kind of added these statistics, it added a lot of value to your speech. One of the other strengths that I see in you is your voice modulation. I think you carry your emotions in your voice. So at places where it really need to drop off, you dropped. At moments where you have to pause, you gave the right pause. So I think it was awesome. And one other interesting attribute that I found was the repeating of a particular statement throughout the speech about being predictably different. I think this is a very good habit because that kind of gives an impression about the topic as well as what you want to convey to people. So re-emphasizing it again and again at various parts of your speech really provided a very good impact. So again, full marks to you on that as well. One other thing that we could probably do better is in terms of a little more of examples. You did give a few examples, but I think more examples can make it much better. And also, though you did share some of your personal experiences, but if you could have also added how your communication style actually had an impact on those, say your father-in-law or your husband or your child, would have made it even more appealing to today's topic. So that's something that you can think about the next time you're doing something similar. But on the whole, I think a wonderful body language, great sense of humor, and of course, you connected with the current COVID times as well. So thank you and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sairam. Thanks a lot for an amazing evaluation. Now we will go to our tag team. First is this time timer, Toastmaster Balaji. Please present your timer report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. The L1P2 S1 speech, Sudhindra, he took 7 minutes 52 seconds, which is 22 seconds over the buffer time. And L1P2 speech, Anu, on the topic disk, she took 7 minutes 5 seconds, which is well within the proper time. And evaluator Bhargavi took 3 minutes 15 seconds, it's well within the time. Evaluator Sairam took 2 minutes 30 seconds on the proper time. On the table topics, the first table topic speaker, Garvit, took 1 minute 21 seconds. The second table topic speaker, Chitra, took 1 minute 42 seconds. Third, Gaurav took 1 minute 58 seconds. Fourth, Nikhil took 1 minute 54 seconds. And fifth, Libin took 1 minute 58 seconds. And if Puti has noted down, sixth one is Balaji, myself.
Yes, Balaji, you took 1 minute 26 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji. Thanks a lot for being the timer for the day. Next up, we have our counter, Toastmaster Garvit, here to present your report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. I think overall in today's session there were very few fillers and crutches used, but I've noted down a few that were used. We have Gaurav, who used around 7 to 10 hours. Chitra used, I think, around 3. Sudhindra used 1, and mainly I think Bhargavi used around 20 plus. I stopped counting after that. And Sriram used around 9, and apart from that, during the table topics, there were very few fillers used. And that's it for my report.
Thanks a lot, Garvit. Thanks for your report. Now we will go to our grammarian for the day. Toastmaster Adarsh, please present your report.
Thank you, Nikhil. I think overall it was a pretty good session in terms of usage of the English language. There were some really nice words used like golden fruit, endeavoring, and phrases like serviceable substitute, somersault, profound, captivating. There were a lot of them, and there were a few intriguing ones, like it was pointed out, random forest or predictably different, drama queen, and there were a lot of things that were very interesting as well, allegation and vibrant. So it was all very good, the usage of the phrases and the words. Coming to what we can improve upon, I think, this is the place where I become a little less full of levity, you could say. So I think the common mistake of idle versus ideal versus idle was repeated. So that is one thing I would say. Besides this, I think some of the interpretation of the proverbs were also a little incorrect. For example, two wrongs are generally indicative of revenge. So it was probably taken a little differently. I think that's probably something that we can improve upon in interpretation of the proverbs in terms of meanings. Other than that, probably in places we use some somewhat technical words like query. So we could probably use something that belongs more in a story like settle the quarrel. But I think overall they were on balance. I think it was pretty good. I think the word of the day was used by Sudhindra and Spurti. So good job on that. So that's my overall report. So back to you, Nikhil.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Adesh, for the full detailed report. Now I believe we will go to journal evaluators report. That is my own. So we have some time. Yeah. So I'll go full detail. Okay. I'll start from the start. Okay. I'll be very honest with you. I haven't slept much last night, so I was very sleepy. I didn't know how I'll be able to attend the meeting and on top of it hear everything. So kudos to everyone. You managed to keep me awake entire time. There was always something interesting ongoing that kept me awake. And right from the start itself, when essay started, like I was like, okay, fine. And after Chitra's speech, her presidential address, I realized that I'm fully awake now. That I have never felt that sleep again. So kudos to you. A great thing. All of you. The first two speakers were amazing. Obviously, they made sure that I awake. Like the strong start, like our first speaker mentioned, right? Captivating beginning. That was there for sure. So a round of applause to everyone. Now we'll go in detail. So essay introduced the theme. I gave the basic topics, and then probably talking about the mission is what can further improvise it. Like talk about why it is there, why that is more important. That will add more value to your essay role. But otherwise, you did a good job. You talked about the story. You instantly got attention, everyone's attention. I think that story was a very captivating point for me. Then we go to our president of the day. I think I have mentioned it already. She's a very motivating start as a presidential address. I personally take notes and I'm going to use that. And your speech is always full of quotations, and you gave a quotation on that as well, how it helps to replace the wit if it is not there. Something to learn from and very informative. Then we go to having a meeting overall without Toastmasters of the day and still making it happen. I don't know whose idea it is, but again, a round of applause to all of you, all the entire soundbite and all the role takers today. Beautiful job. Like this is total true creativity. If you are in a peril, like if you are in a situation you're not sure how to get it done, you find a creative solution and get it done. Perfect. So then we had our tag team describing their roles and evaluators telling the objective. We'll go to the first speaker of the day. So first speaker of the day. Okay, can I see you? Yeah.
I have to make some noise, I think.
Yes. So Toastmaster Sundar, I think first of all, I owe you an apology. I think I used the wrong pronoun while doing your introduction. So apologies on me. Sorry for that. Then next is your speech. amazing structure of the speech. You really gave the points. Like this is like perfect. You told people that what you should evaluate me on, and that I am doing all these things. When you talked about, okay, captivating, begin, all the things, basically what the major things are evaluation, you stated it out clearly. So it becomes evaluator's job much more difficult, because evaluator has to make sure that she or he is able to go beyond that, is able to look at the speech as overall and not just what you are saying. So on this point, I'll write to appreciate the job done by Bhargavi. She was actually able to do that. She appreciated you on what all good points you had, and also it was able to go beyond that. I'll go to Bhargavi's evaluation a little bit more in detail. So for you, great content and great speech, you sorted out everything. What else you can do is probably, like, you had this word what else. So what else? What else? You can put bit more pressure, bit more, make it a hook. What else? Let the audience think, okay, what is going to come next? If you have a hook point, then give a 10-second slot and then go to the next point. So second, I think Bhargavi mentioned it rightly, so that your begin was top of the energy, amazing. Slightly settled down at the later stages, maybe because it first was too good, and then later kind of got intertwined with all the details and everything. Probably, I think what I mentioned, what else, that small things coming in the middle can help it out. Then next thing was that you did wonderfully, I think, in the close part. Maybe it was not that impactful, but still you were able to kind of close it from where you started. You started from the mother-son story, and you sorted out at the end that I am the son who is willing to take the feedback. So you kind of looped it. So your machine learning's loop is almost finished, but make it more impactful, make it more clear, because that is your crux. Getting the feedback is your crux. That is all about, that is what you all were telling about, right? How your machine learning algorithm works. So focus more on that, and definitely concising the time is important. So bit more practice on what is important, what is not important can help you out. Then we go to our evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Bhargavi. Kudos to you. You were able to give a fantastic evaluation despite kind of like our speaker did a cheating. He was telling, okay, this is the point you have to evaluate me on, and this is all I am doing. But still you were able to find what has to be done, what has to be improved. You got the energy point, you got the end low point, and conclusion was abrupt. I think you did a fantastic. I don't have any specific to add on to that. So great job, kudos. Next, we'll go to our second speaker for the day, Toastmaster Anu, attempting level 2 project 2. Congratulations on finishing both the speakers, by the way. So you laid it out very clearly, and then you started with your word like this, what you are going to talk about. That captivates the audience. I think your evaluator mentioned it really well. You have a very interesting style of communication, very kind of, you want to hear it more. Like your evaluator mentioned that your voice modulation is a strength. You know how to tweak little bits and little bits there. Now to make it more impactful, probably you have to use your pauses in a better format, because even in the disc, I noticed like you started D, you told about it, you immediately went to I. Something to similar, on the similar lines what I told to Sunendra, like he had a hook word, he could have used it better. You could have given your pauses a little bit more thought to and more preparation, so that it brings out that you have a vocal variety, you have that voice which is very captivating. So it should not be that you are continuously speaking. Just give audience some time to absorb the information that you are giving. You have a lot of information, so just give them the time to get it. Okay, fine, this has happened, this has happened. Then you beautifully link your own personal experience, personal examples also. So that was a good thing. On the points of giving examples, I think they were sufficient in number. I might disagree, but again, this is my own opinion. Second thing that I want to give you as a overall is, in your structure, since you had a disk format and then you went in to give 2 examples. Sometimes it was getting lost that where are we landing? Like what is our cliff? What is our main point? Whether it is about communication differently or it is that people having different personality. So it was kind of getting mixed, but then I got to know your objective. So it did make sense, but making it more clear in your speech structure will help. But that's a advanced level feedback. Like you will be moving to project 3, probably you can implement and try to execute it better there. Stick to your main point. Like for every paragraph, you think how does it get related to your main point? That this is these 2 words or these 3 words are your main point. This is what you want to focus. And all lines, every sentence that you speak or every paragraph that you speak is somehow getting related to that main point. You did mention continuously repeating that everyone has a different personality, everyone has a different personality. So that was a good thing, but probably slight variations. Like once you see the script of the speech, you can notice it better that, okay, this is somehow a bit confusing. Okay, but a great job done. So congratulations. And to your evaluator, Toastmaster Sairam, I think you were great in identifying all her positives, all her strengths, and you were great in giving the overall structure of your evaluation. Then you asked her to be what can be added and what can make a good impact. So that was a good catch. Like I think I didn't notice that. I didn't wrote it. So good job to our evaluators. I think both our evaluators are very fantastic. Or probably they speak for 3 minutes. Difficult to make out, okay, what can be improved. But speakers, I kind of have something to give always. Next is our table topic session. So Toastmasters Spurti, like I mentioned, amazing session and amazing idea of giving agree and disagree points. Then second wow factor that I got in your table topics was some of the table topics were double negative statements. Like the first statement that all glitter is not good, and then you have to agree to it, which is a negative statement. You have to disagree to it, which is a double negative. So it's you get a question, you speak about it. You get a question, you try to understand it. So it is really challenging for the speakers. So you gave them that challenge. So kudos to you. And the speakers took that challenge. So great job, all the speakers, all the 6, all the 5. I don't think I did such a good job. I have feedback for my own self also. General feedback for all the table topic speakers is that if we notice everyone spoke less than 2 minutes, which means ideally you should have spoken at least 1 minute about agreement and 1 minute about disagreement, at least to balance it out 50-50, right? So we all spoke about agreement for 1 minute, and then for disagreement we had comparatively less content. If you see 1, 2, like all of us were less than 2 minutes, and some of us even closed before 1 minute 30 seconds. That means on disagreement point we spoke just 30 seconds. So that means we have to, I don't know if it was like you didn't see the timer or what, but you could hold on to that thought a little bit more. You could have added a little bit more to that. So try to balance it out 50-50. Then we have do we have time? If we have time, then I can go individual speakers as well.
Yeah.
We can go, right? Fine. Not feedback for everyone, but small things which I noted. First is our Garvit, good thought projection. You had a consistency what you were speaking. You finished early because the disagreement part you didn't spoke much about, but your transition was smooth. You swiftly shifted from agreement to disagreement, but you could have added more content to the second part. Then Toastmaster Chitra, you were very imaginative. Like you didn't know what to speak about the agreement, but still you were able to bring out a story of someone, and then I don't know it is actual or you made it up on the spot, but again you're able to relate that cat to some particular character from some fictional movie or your own thought of mind. So good job. To improve on, I think you should try more comfortable topics, because in disagreement you were fantastic. When you were talking about disagreement, you had examples. Okay, this. Okay, this is my case, closed. In agreement, you were kind of struggling. So to improve further, you should take more uncomfortable topics. What do I mean by uncomfortable topics? The topics which you don't personally agree on. Like, even if you are comfortable speaking about in positive of something, try to go negative of it. That will help you in two things. First, obviously it will practice for the uncomfortable, because there will be scenarios where you will not be comfortable. Second, you will have your own perspective. It will open up your perspective from both the sides. So that can help you personally also in different situations, because we kind of get more, okay, what whosoever is opposing us, it will also start making more sense to us. That helps in general conflict resolution and everything. Then third speaker was our Gaurav, and he gave a personal touch. He kind of related the theory, and that is a beautiful thing to do, and that is something really nice. And I think you were immediately able to connect it with it, with your some personal story of yours. So that's a fantastic job. Then I spoke, and I think I got lost in my own train of thoughts. And what I lacked was my own and related to anything. I just made a general remark and general comment on it. Probably what will help me is to try to relate it to something. When I get those 10 seconds, I relate it to something and then speak about it. Any story. That's again what something all of you did, and I learned from all of you. Then we have Toastmaster Libin. Your topic was speeches, silver, and silence is gold. Amazing play of words. You made it literally, and then you made it to the another end, and then you blamed it to table topic master. So kudos to you. When you can't do anything, you blame it to the person standing in front of you. But in all fun, that was a fun speech. So great. Then finally we had Toastmaster Balaji. Okay, I have a very bad handwriting. I'm not sure what I have written. Relate to something. Okay, you I think also related to something that you have experience on, and you spoke 1 minute 20 seconds. So again, for the disagreement part, you can add bit more content. You can think a little bit more about it. So that will help you. Because in that 1 minute 20 seconds, also remember that 1 minute you spoke for agreement, then 26 seconds you spoke disagreement, and then you did a conclusion as well. So for disagreement, you would not have spoken more than 15 seconds or at best 20 seconds. So something you can add. All of us can learn. Okay, now we'll go to our tag team. So timer gave a detailed report. Amazing. We had one speaker going beyond 7 minutes 30 seconds. That was our first speaker. I'm not sure if we do the qualification disqualification thing or not. If we don't, then that's good, because we don't generally do in our club. But yeah, something you should keep in mind. Then we have our counter. It was very detailed. You tell each speaker how many hours they spoke about, how many hours they used. Another thing that you can add is, not everyone will have a crutch word as "a." Someone will be using a different crutch word. Try to identify that as well and tell them, okay, this is your crutch word. Oh, this is your crutch word. Or someone will be like, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. Maybe I'm not sure if we had it in our speech, in our entire meeting today or not, but something can be added in your report. Then grammarian, I think grammarian Adarsh did a fantastic job. He covered all the bases, and we overall need to improve our word of the day usage for sure. That's the feedback for all of us. And fantastic meeting. Like I started, I'm still awake, and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me. Now I'll give it back to our SA for the day for the online feedback and booking. Over to you. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Nikhil. It was a very good evaluation, and we had a lot of learnings. We got a lot of learnings from it, and we definitely work on it. Now it's time for voting and feedbacks. So I'll be sharing, links are available in our chat. So I request everyone to please provide their votes and their feedbacks.
Is everyone done?
Yeah, we have 8 responses.
And 10 people. Right?
People are actually using this machine to create a box just at the time of shipping.
So speaking of levity, has anyone watched the movie Jojo Rabbit that came out last year? Okay, so basically, the movie talks about the Holocaust that happened during the World War II and before and after that, right? In a very funny manner. I think my husband is also finding it very funny. Anyway. Okay, yeah. So when the word of the day was introduced, I think that was the first thought that came into my mind. It kind of symbolizes or yeah, maybe you should watch it. Gaurav, do we have the votes?
I just recalled I watched it sometime back.
We have 9 responses. So still 2 more participants are pending, I guess.
Is anyone finding it hard to access the link? So, Anu, this was your first meeting with our club. Do you want to share anything?
Thank you so much, Chitra. Yes, for sure. So I think 2 days before it was Chitra, voluntarily pinged me, and that sort of helped me bond with her. So thank you so much. Though I did not know that she was the president of the club, but she did an amazing job. As soon as she got to know from our club that I'm interested, she pinged me back, which was really, really good. And I think yesterday itself she gave me the link, and she also told me that I'll have to introduce the Toastmaster, not the Toastmaster, the table topic of the day and things like that. So that was really, really wonderful. And all of you guys as well. Thank you so much. I did not feel like I'm outside my club. It felt like all of you. I've been seeing all of you for quite some time, all known faces kind of feeling. So thanks for spreading the warmth.
Thanks, Toastmaster Anu. Thanks for coming to the meeting and delivering your speech here. We all enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us again.
Sure, Chitra. Thank you.
Gaurav, are the results in?
Yeah, we only have 9 votes, so I'm just.
It's okay. I think let's publish.
Okay, yeah, just give me a second.
Guys, voting is a right and a duty.
And this is a quote by whom?
I don't know. I can't attribute it to anybody.
Nikhil, normally you take down notes, right? I asked for an script. She mailed me this.
You won't be able to read it. I have notes, but I don't think it's difficult for me to read. I think in the meantime results are published, I'll like to say a couple of words. If the president gives me permission. By your permission, Toastmaster.
Please go ahead.
I totally agree with what Anu said. The warmth you guys give, it's like my own club. That's absolutely true. As an area director, obviously it's my own club, but still you also make sure that I don't feel from outside. And it's always fun to visit. It's a true break from my normal work. Right now I'm not working, I'm on vacation, so it was still a good thing to do apart from sleeping all day. On a side note, as an area director, I hope executive team is working on getting the renewals done.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, since you guys have a bi-weekly meeting, right? So next week will be free for you. I'll take this opportunity to invite you all. Please come. We have an open house meeting in plan for the next week at Western Digital Podium Panache. So as a president, I consider it as an official invitation from my side. I'll send in the link as well. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Nikhil.
Chitra, results are ready.
Yeah.
I have sent you.
Yeah. So I'll just share my screen. Okay. So the first, so we'll start with the best speaker. So the best speaker for the day is Anu. The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Bhargavi. The best role player goes to Nikhil. The best table topic goes to Libin. Congratulations, everyone, and everyone did a great job today. Thank you so much. Despite the fact that till last minute there were hardly any role players, I think the SA and all the role players pulled it together really well. Right? Thank you so much, everyone. Please get in touch with other Toastmaster members, your friends and colleagues, and pull them into the meeting, right? And we will also circulate and send out the role player and nomination mails today itself. So please volunteer early so that we're not cramming like this in the last minute, right? Thank you, guys. With this, I'll end the meeting for the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will stop the recording.